Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl JoJo, and I'm here with the review for Love and Marriage Huntsville season. Whatever. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is definitely a late review. I told everybody in the Put a Ring on It video I had drill weekend this weekend, so I pretty much work Tuesday to Sunday because I work full time there as well, and I couldn't bring myself to do videos. So here I am on Monday, doing the video. I don't know if y'all have been looking for it, but I have not been reviewing Family or Fiance. I don't know if it's just me. Y'all tell me if it's just me. But Family or Fiance has not been giving what it normally gives for me. Like, I feel like they pulled these couples. Where did they get these people? Like, I know normally there's drama, there's arguments, but the relationships are just so like, I don't know. It's just even more messy than usual. Like, usually we get a little bit of mess, but we can see why the two people want to be with each other. There's some red flags there, but we can see the two of them possibly making it most of the time. I think my favorite episode was Felicia and Chris. That was my favorite Family or Fiance. And they actually had their wedding and stuff on YouTube. There was a video. But I haven't been reviewing it because I just have not enjoyed the season at all. And every week I say I'm going to talk about it, and then I watch the episode and I'll be like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. So anyway, on to Love and Marriage Huntsville. Guess what? I ain't take no notes. I didn't take them. No, I didn't. I'm all tangled up here. So we just gonna talk, okay? I just watched it not too long ago, so I should kind of remember. So we pick up where we left off, where Tiffany had left. Not Tiffany. She needed to have left. Destiny left, and Destiny tells us that it doesn't matter if they're divorced now. It doesn't matter if LeBaric was with somebody else and they both moved on. That was still her marriage, even if it was only a year. They didn't survive COVID. She was in labor for 3 days, and it's just a lot that she went through in that marriage, and it's over, and she doesn't want to hear anybody talk about it. When she sits back down, her and Kimmy are doing a whole lot of kikiing and laughing, and I'm not saying that Mel is jealous, but I do think Mel does have some territorial territorial ways when it comes to her friendships. Not that you're not allowed to have other friends, but you better not like those friends more than you like me if you are going to be hanging out with them, girl. And Kimmy and Destiny really have hit it off, and I wonder if Mel does feel some type of way about that, but I'm not really sure. But either way, the birthday dinner is done, and we determined that Destiny probably doesn't really like Tiffany, and that she may also have a problem with Mel bringing Tiffany out there. A lot of people were disappointed with how Mel handled the situation, including myself. Mel was kind of treating it like it's no big deal because you guys aren't together anymore, and it doesn't matter who he was with and what he was doing. But at the same time, you wouldn't want anybody saying that about Martell-it. And I didn't like the way that you kind of smirked and was looking away whenever Tiffany was spilling tea about Monster and the situation with Destiny. It's just kind of, I don't know, like it reminded me of the Mel that I did not care for in the first season. So I don't want to see that Mel again, but we might be getting her back. But anyway, after that, let's move on to a couple of different storylines. So Marsau and Tisha, you guys know they are doing their big promotion out in Houston. And so Marsau finally shows up after having some problems with the business. He shows up, and Tisha got on her sexy lingerie. She got her good sex kitten wig on, and she's just like, oh, hi, how are you? How is your flight? And she got her wine in her hand, and he's just like, okay, I was not expecting this. I said, come on, Marsau, come on in. So he comes in, she sit on his lap. You think something about to get started, and Marsau was just rattling off all the business moves he got to make, because this is a business trip at the end of the day. So we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this, we got to do that. And Tisha is just like, way to kill the mood, bro. I came in here, I'm hot and ready. I'm ready to go. Okay, I ain't got no panties on, and you come in here talking about what work we got to do. I know this is a business trip, and right now I'm trying to get down to some business. But Marsau was too busy talking about everything he had to do. And so she's not getting her romance time, remember, like she wanted. later on, as they go out with Uncle Mike, and I forgot the auntie's name, but didn't the auntie look like a more refreshed version of Mama Joyce? I know she's younger than Mama Joyce, but she just looked like a refreshed version of Mama Joyce. Like if Mama Joyce stopped all that scowling and really tried to look pleasant in the face, she would look like her. But they were talking to Tisha and Marsau, and they're coming up on their 15th wedding anniversary. She wants to do something really special. Marsau says that for their wedding anniversary, because they've done other things in the past and because they have so much love inside of the marriage, that is really all they have to give. And that's all they're going to do is have love. That's it. We're not doing anything else, but that's it. Just the love is what's going to be there. But Tisha would like to do something special. They did something special for 10. He claims they did something special the other years too. And as he's going on and basically talking about what they're not doing, y'all, Uncle Mike was looking like this. Like, boy, don't say the wrong thing now, because I got to go home with my wife too. I cannot be on your side. But yeah, I mean, Marsau strikes me as the type that jokes a lot. I don't think it's that he doesn't care about Tisha. I just really think he is not a deeply emotional guy. I wonder if he is romantic. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't portray on the show, but maybe he does have romantic times. But the fact that she's always talking about it and saying how much she needs it, I would venture that he probably isn't that romantic, and that does matter inside of your marriage, which might be why Tisha always wants to do something special to celebrate these little milestones, because maybe that's the only time she can get him alone, or really get like the attention that she's wanting, or really get like something out of him, something more out of him. So maybe that's why she likes to have the celebratory parties, birthdays, like her graduation, and you know, try to just celebrate these little things, because that's when she can get Marsau like in a different mode outside of work. That could be why. But in general, even if it wasn't, she should get that time with him. It's very important. So they start talking about Scott Manor, and she says hopefully she'll be celebrating her 20th anniversary, renewing her vows inside the Scott Manor house. And Uncle Mike just kind of looking around, and Marsau is looking around, and he said, well, hopefully we'll be in there way before our 20th anniversary. But Marsau don't know all that, because changes keep having to be made and things are getting held up. So they asked Uncle Mike what's going on with his workers, because according to Uncle Mike, Marsau sent him an email and he seemed a little upset with Uncle Mike. And that's because the people that Uncle Mike has had working have also been holding up the process by not showing up and by not doing what they're supposed to do. And so Marsau was frustrated with it. And, you know, he don't want to go there with Uncle Mike, but I will. So Uncle Mike tells him, listen, I understand. I don't want to take it there either. There have also, though, been changes made that have been a hold up to the process. But he said he going to get with his people and he going to make sure they there on time doing what they need to do. Now, as far as these hold ups in the process, Marsau blames it all on Tisha. Because Tisha the one that wanted the bigger closet. So we had to make a lot of changes. And Tisha wants to know, was her closet really that big of a deal? And Mike said, no, it was actually a really good move. And she said, but did it hold up the project? And yes, it did hold up the project. But what Marsau is failing to remember is that his garage that he wanted expanded and down on another floor opened up a space for Tisha's closet, but it also got more garage space for you. And that was something you wanted. So basically what Uncle Mike is saying, both y'all held up the project. It wasn't just one of y'all. It was both of y'all that held up the project. But let Tisha tell it was Marsau's idea to give her the closet. So I don't really know who's to blame here, but either way, the project is held up. Then they want to know if Kimmy and Maurice are moving on to Scott Manor as well. And they tell Uncle Mike they're probably going to be building something, but it won't be on Scott Manor. But don't you tell Maurice none of our plans, because you know how Maurice does. He always wants to do it bigger and better than us, and we not sharing any of our plans. And Uncle Mike was just looking at them like, these two are the most childish folks. Uncle Mike looked like he just wanted to eat his food and leave, but he was just like, all my designs are copyrighted, so it's fine. So apparently there must be some brotherly competition that goes on between Marsau and Maurice, where Maurice always maybe tries to outdo Marsau, I guess. Perhaps sometimes brothers may have, I don't know, is sibling rivalry a thing in y'all's house? I'm always happy if my siblings, come up. I'm not hating, so good for y'all. And I'm not trying to outdo y'all either if it's not in my budget. Okay, my sister is getting a house built now. And that ain't got nothing to do with me, but I'm happy for her. So anyway, we move on from that. Let's see. Trying to think what was next. Oh, let's get to the party. So they go to the party in Houston. They're promoting their brand, Black Chocolate in a Bottle. And the whole Ready to Love cast is there pretty much. There's Chris and there's Stacy. Actually, I only saw 3 people. I'm being dramatic. Nephew Tommy, Kyra. So 4 altogether. Jacqueline. Jacqueline was there as well. She looked very pretty. But they're there. They're supporting the event. And we find out that Black is trying to do some expansion. And so he's talking to Nephew Tommy, asking him about Midtown. I don't think Nephew Tommy comes out in Houston because he act like he don't know what's going on. He was saying stuff like, Midtown is good. Midtown is good. He just kept repeating himself. And then he would say, okay, like what kind of crowd we talking? Very diverse. Got a very diverse crowd with Midtown. Very diverse. I was like, Nephew Tommy, do you know what questions he's asking? Midtown does have a very diverse crowd, but there's like a Black Midtown, like that's more culturally Black. You get what I'm saying? Like kind of getting into the whole third ward type of feel, and you have some historical context there, and then there's your more fancy smancy Midtown as well. So anyway, child. But he's thinking about doing some expansions. He's happy to see all of the love they got. And I just want to say, I'm fine with expanding, but let's make sure we got the Huntsville Black on lock before we move anywhere else. Okay, y'all didn't listen to Miss Robbie from Sweetie Pies? What Miss Robbie used to always tell Tim? What you need to do is we got to make sure that we handle our business at Upper Crust and at the Mangrove locations before we expand out into Houston. I can't get my right. I need a little bit more asthmatic. Let me not laugh because I don't want to pick on none of my asthma people. But Miss Robbie is really one of my favorite people, you guys. I love the way she talks. I really wanted her to be my aunt or another grandma to me. I thought she was a sweet lady, but very no nonsense. And I really enjoyed Miss Robbie. I hate what that family has gone through. But she used to always tell Tim, be careful with that expansion. And he wanted to learn the hard way. So I just think that Marsau should just make sure everything is handled on that end. Then let's start moving out and branching out, expanding. So as he's going around talking to different people, saying hello to everybody, there's Kyra. And honey, this was the scene that everybody was talking about. Oh, Kyra was trying to mess with a married man. Oh, that's what Kyra get because she was trying to do this and she forever gonna be this. Child, it wasn't nothing. And Kyra did not eye him. I did not see Kyra really looking at him like that. I saw her say hello to him. Her name was Kyra. She kind of glanced over in his direction. But to me, it didn't look like a lustful glance. And then here comes Tisha over there when Kyra did look over at Marsau or Marsau looked at her, whatever. Tisha comes over there and she's just like, hi. And he was like, hey, baby. So they walk off. They go outside and she was like, yeah, I saw that girl. Well, Marsau is just talking in general about expanding and about where they are and the brand. He's just talking in general, and he did say some things that I felt like were a little sneaky. I cannot remember what those things were. I wish that's the stuff I should have took notes on, but he made some kind of comment about like work in the room or whatever. And Tisha said, yeah, I saw that girl eyeing you. I had to come snatch you up real quick. And he was just like, what are you talking about? Then he made some type of Ready to Love joke that wasn't funny at the time. And Tisha was just like, no, you might not have peeped it, but I peeped it. I saw what was going on, and that's why I came over there. And he's just like, babe, like, I wasn't even looking at nobody else. I was just working the room. I was just talking to everybody. And Tisha ends up getting emotional. Now, you guys, Tisha's not my favorite person. She does get on my nerves, but I don't want to see the girl hurt. I don't think she's a bad person down on the inside. I think she is a person who's unsure of herself, and I think she doesn't have the confidence necessarily that she needs. I'm not blaming Marsau for it, but I do think he takes a part in that. Now, I do believe that you should come into a relationship with your own self-worth, with your own confidence and all of these things. But we know, you guys, as you go through the years, you've been married to somebody for years, sometimes your confidence does take a hit. Sometimes you gain the weight. Sometimes you have the children, your body don't look like it used to. Sometimes you see other beautiful women around, and sometimes it is a little intimidating, especially the younger women. You just kind of be like, oh man, I remember when I used to have it going like that. And it does get a little bit difficult. And I'm sure for guys, you start losing hair, or you start getting more grays, whatever. Some of you might be feeling insecure about. You might get that little gut, and some people embrace it, some people don't. It's just different things that happen. And I know some people would say, well, it's on her to do this and it's on her to do that. But I believe that in a relationship, I'm not saying that the person has to always pick you up off the ground and you're not responsible for how you feel at all. You are. But I do think there are those times where you do have to boost each other up. That's just a semblance of love. It has nothing to do with you always having to cater to somebody, or you need to have it just has everything to do with we're together, we love each other, and this is how we show our love to each other. I make sure that you're straight. I make sure that you know I love you. I make sure that you know you're desired. And it works both ways. I think they speak a different love language. Marsau is probably more action person, which is why he was so oppressed when she went back to school and wasn't at home as much. And she might be more of a words person, like, let me know how you feel about me. She might be more physical touch me, let me know what's up. But that's something that needs to be reciprocated, and it is something that needs to be done. A lot of people would not agree with that, but it is something that has to be done. It is a part of, I hate to say this word, but our jobs in relationships when we're with somebody, to continue to make sure that we build them up. And what's wrong with that? Because when you're up, when you're up, I'm up. I can't feel the way I need to feel if I see you sitting over there slouching and insecure. I don't want you to feel like that. So if I can do some kind of part in helping you feel better, then I want to. And then it's on you how you want to take it and what you want to do with it. And of course, always making sure you do that for yourself too. I'm not saying that you're not responsible for it too. I'm just saying that your partner can help out with that. And so I don't think Tisha's getting that inside of her relationship. And I wonder if she ever got it outside of dating and courting. I wonder if she ever got it. I don't think they were dating that long. I also wonder if she feels, because I feel this sometimes about Marsau, if Marsau would have been in the position that he's in now from this television show, would he still have been with somebody like Tisha? And not because Tisha's a bad catch, because Tisha is a catch. I think Tisha looks way younger. She has like a very youthful face. Miss Wanda too. If she's gonna age like Miss Wanda, she's gonna be a bad one for real. But I just wonder if he wanted a woman that was more like a Mel. Because you see how he's always joking with Mel, how he looks at Mel, the stuff he says to Mel, but he just knows he can't handle a Mel, because Mel is not a woman that could be handled. But he likes her, and if he could get a male type to be personality wise like a Tisha, that would be his ideal. I think a lot of men are like that. That's why they all running around here. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but that's why a lot of them running around here begging for somebody to submit. It's not that other women won't submit, it's just not the woman that they want to submit. She don't look the way they want. She ain't shaped the way they want. She don't have 0 children the way they want. They want a certain type of woman to submit. That's the woman they having a problem with. The women that are submitting are the women that they, I don't know. I mean, that's what child. I'm just saying that's something I noticed. But I wonder about Marsau sometimes. But I think that I think Tisha needs that. And I think he needs to let his wife know, you are still the one for me. And I also think she needs to do some work on herself to know that you still are a beautiful woman. Find yourself though. Do you. You ain't got to be like all these other slim, big booty, big breasts. You don't got to be like that if that's not you. I liked when Tisha was doing the whole mommy thing, the podcast and the events for the little girls. Like, I felt like she was in her element doing stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with being the cute little mom if that's your thing. If you don't want to do the sex pot thing, you ain't got to. Everybody ain't sexy. I ain't sexy. When I walk in the room, people do not say, oh my gosh, she is so sexy. They just be like, oh, she cute, maybe a little quirky, but that's it. But I think she needs a little more. And I hope she can get that. Marsau, come on now. You have a beautiful wife. You really do. Like, make her feel desired. Don't just grope her either, but, say stuff. Let her know. I'm telling you, it'll make a big difference. We move on to Kimmy and Jalen. I love their scene. I like that they're working on a project together, because at first I was like, why does he need his mama's help? But now when I see them working on it together, I was like, I like this, because Kimmy's holding him accountable, saying, look, you got to be here. I'm not doing all this work by myself. We closed on the condo. You wanted to work on it. You need to be here. You need to ask Marsau for some days off. That ushers into another conversation about him working all the time at Black and not really getting any days off. And then Tisha tells him one thing, Marsau tells him another, and they called him from Houston saying that he was going to be by himself, and he was like, I'm always by myself. And Kimmy is just looking at him like, I know. This is what I was expecting. And I love the way that she didn't put her foot into it. Like, well, I'm going to talk to Marsau because he ain't going to be having you. She was just like, ask Marsau for what you need. I just love the way she was giving it to him. Like, I'm going to guide you right, but I'm not going to do it for you. You going to do it. You going to handle it. Work on your communication. Talk to Marsau. Let them know what you need. Make sure that those two get on the same page so that when they're telling you stuff, it doesn't feel like two opposite things. Tell them what you need, basically. And I thought that was good. I like that. I really do like that. I enjoyed their scene. What scene I didn't enjoy was Maurice and Kimmy's conversation at the table and at the house. What it all boils down to is Kimmy is not feeling heard in that marriage when it comes to raising his child. Now, Maurice wants Kimmy to be involved seemingly on the front end, but on the back end, when stuff is going on, Kimmy is left in the dark. She didn't know about the vaping. Maurice knew about the vaping and had already talked to him about it. And Kimmy is just like, sometimes I feel like when I offer a suggestion, you just don't care. You just don't want to do it. And when I tell you Kimmy was concise, she was firm, she was pleasant, but she was still letting him know how she felt. And ladies, that's the way to do it. I know I talk real loud on here, but I can get my point across to somebody extremely well, extremely straightforward, with a smile. And it really came from years of customer service. It wasn't a therapist in sight. Customer service is what actually trained me to do that. And different type of like social service jobs as well. They will help you with your patience. So she was very good at explaining her point. Maurice is actually the one that was getting worked up. He was getting loud. I didn't like that, y'all. I did not like when he was kind of like, well, I'm a black man and I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. And she was like, I know that, babe. I know that. I mean, she was bringing it down. And I bet he felt crazy after that argument. I bet you, well, it was only an argument for him, but I bet you he felt crazy because why are you yelling at her? She's basically just telling you that she doesn't feel heard. She understands what you're trying to do, but what she's trying to get you to understand is you don't even allow me to help you do that. I'm trying to help you with your son. You wanted him here. And you want my help when it comes to, let's say, his schoolwork or making sure he gets here or making sure he does this. But then when it comes to the things that maybe he's doing wrong, you don't want to inform me about that stuff. Then he tells her that that girl saying that, Tiffany saying that about Monster, he doesn't want to, I understood what he was saying. It was dramatic, but I understood. He didn't want people getting the wrong idea of Monster. Like, he never does the wrong thing. This is probably the worst thing he's ever done thus far. And a lot of times when people know one bad thing that you do, they kind of look at you one way. So he doesn't want him to be looked at as a deviant. I understood that. And he's all about black excellence and he's raising them to be this and he's raising them to be that. And she was like, well, there's certain conversations that you need to start having with him now. He tells her, well, I didn't think I was going to have to do that till high school. Child, Maurice, you out of your league when it comes to some teenagers. You already behind if he in 8th grade. These conversations you got to have in the 5th grade now. Then she's trying to tell him about his time. His time is imbalanced. You're not really around here that much. Like, you're around, but with Monster, I think there needs to be some more things. Well, babe, you act like I'm not doing anything. No, you feel like you're not doing anything because did I say that? She didn't say that first part, but you must feel that way because that's what you brought up. I never said that. I said there needs to be more balance, where she was basically trying to tell him in the most respectful way, Monster needs to come before your job. And this is what Kimmy was scared of when Monster first came, because like she said, I already raised up a son. I am not going to do it alone again. You better be present. And Maurice is showing signs of not being all that present. I'm not saying not present at all, but not in the same way, especially given the things that Monster may be trying to get into. It's very important. You got to start keeping your eye on the situation. So, I remember I worked at a department store with this lady, and as soon as her daughter went into 7th grade, she quit. And she had been working there for years, and I was like, you quitting, girl? I never thought you quit. She was like, oh yeah. We used to work part-time. And so after our full-time job, we would work there a couple days a week. She was like, my daughter's going into 7th grade and I need to be at home. I need to be with her. I need to be there for her. And I was just like, yeah, that's what it is. Because you have to put your children above these things. You have to rearrange because they're the priority now. Of course, yes, you are striving for these bigger and better things, but how is it going to be bigger and better and beneficial if your legacy is crumbling up underneath you? And so I think Kimmy is just trying to offer that. We see in Maurice, unfortunately, that he's not that much different from Marsau, and I think we all kind of knew this, but now we're kind of seeing it go down. I think it's actually even a little bit worse because with Marsau, we know what it is. But with Maurice, he packages it differently. But I think that Kimmy really does value leadership in the home. I think that was something she wanted. She wanted a man that would lead. And it's not that she doesn't have that, she does. But I don't think he really understands what that role entails. And there's a lot of guys who don't. Just because you have the tool and just because you are loud or you are brash or you are a worker, that doesn't necessarily make you a good leader. Because one of the signs of a very good leader is not just somebody who knows how to conduct and who knows how to control and who knows how to run things, but also a leader values his team. He values the input from his team. Because if you don't have a good team and your team doesn't feel valued and your team doesn't feel heard, what happens in a business? A lot of times your team finds another project to work on or finds another person to work for. And then you by yourself, because you don't have all the knowledge and the input and the worker bees under you, you don't have everything that the team has, the whole mission fails. And I think Kimmy wants to be a part of his team. She has no problem with him being the head, with him being the leader, but he never, ever, ever considers, not never, ever, but she rarely feels like he considers the feelings or the input of the team. And the team would be his family. And so a good leader knows how to take that input and knows where to apply it. And he keeps saying, I listen to you. You might listen, but you listen to respond. You don't listen to take any of my input in to use it. But then when it all falls apart, here you are being like, babe. She didn't say that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens. So when they meet up with Kia, well, okay, here's a good example. He has a meeting to go to, right? So she asks him, do you want to just reschedule? Because you ain't about to get up and leave and have me sitting here, and this is the meeting that you've always wanted to have. Not only is he taking credit for this meeting, but he's taking credit for making the relationship between Kiowa and Kimmy better. And I can tell you for a fact that that was not true. We all saw the seasons of you and Kiowa and Kimmy, and you did not help foster in a good relationship between those two. Stop it, Maurice. But he tell her that he got to leave. You just go ahead and handle it. And baby Kimmy better than me. I would have packed everything up and been like, excuse me, can we get to the boxes, please? We are about to leave. I'm just not about to do this with you. Because again, you don't take my input. You don't listen to me. But then you want me to sit here and handle this meeting. No, you don't get to do that to your team member. You don't get to sabotage your own team just because you are the head of the team. You don't get to sabotage and make these decisions and leave me to deal with them. That is not how it works. And if you want me to continue to play on the team and not try to jump into the leadership position, you got to quit sabotaging me. You just got to quit doing it. So I just think that's very important. And I think it's important that when you do want to design your relationship that way, that you all make sure you talk to people who can mentor you about what those roles mean. If you want to have those traditional, man is the head, even if you're not religious, there's still some people who want to operate this way. And then, the woman, is the, I was about to say the lesser vessel. I have heard people use that term as well, but y'all know what I mean, y'all. Let me not even get into no terms, because people, they start getting real aggravated depending on how you explain it. But even if you want to do that, I think it's important to get the right mentorship in your life that really understands how that works. And so often we don't have it as men and women. So anyway, you guys let me know what you thought about Maurice. I know I left out the part about Jalen being the cougar tamer. I don't have time for Jalen. I really don't have time for Jalen. But y'all, when he said Destiny wasn't his type, what y'all think he meant by that? Because she was older? Or how she... I hope that Jalen is not a I love exotics only type. I don't think so. Because then he go to a lot of times when a guy goes to the HBCU, he ends up... he usually likes what was around him the whole time, if that makes sense, because he had a smorgasbord of it. But anyway, y'all, like, comment, and subscribe. I was disappointed in Maurice this episode. Let me know what you thought, and I will see y'all. Oh, for the next one, we got Melody planning an event, and Tiffany is coming, and Destiny got a problem with that. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll see y'all for the next one. All right, bye.